Hello and welcome everybody to our third and final info session for Oxfam Trailwalker 2023. My name is Sam. I'm going to be your host for this evening, and I hope you're as excited as I am to learn all there is to know about Event Weekend. From registration, start and finish line expectations, support crew, checkpoint info, and more. It's going to be a really jam-packed hour, so let's get right into it. Firstly, I have to go over a bit of housekeeping. I do have to note that this session is going to be recorded and it will be posted to our Facebook and our website later on for those who couldn't make it tonight. Our first one is on the website, so if you haven't seen that already, and the second one, make sure you pop over and have a look at those too. As we progress through the session, you may need or want to focus your attention to the speaker. To do this, head to the right of the screen and turn speaker view on. There will be a Q&A at the end, so please stay muted until we reach that section. And in the meantime, please feel free to pop your questions in the chat and we will get back to them later on. Cool, so I want to introduce you to some of our awesome guest speakers for the evening. We've got our trail developer, Matt, here to share some key information on the trail, which is actually being released tomorrow morning. So you're all going to get a sneak peek tonight. Then we'll hear from Tina and Lewis, who completed the 100-kilometre Trailwalker in 2021. So they'll be giving some really valuable participant insight to get you excited for your journey. And then finally, we will have Marco from one of our sponsors, Outwear. He's going to run us through the many different ways you can wear your buff. Everybody receives a buff in their walker pack at registration day. So if you have one handy from previous years, we suggest you grab it and try and do it with Marco as he goes through the demonstration. So I want to get you all excited for this evening. But also I want to get you excited for the event. We are going to be chatting all about the destination and the wonderful things you can do in Taranaki. We're going to go over the weekend timeline, so key dates and times you need to know, registration information, start line expectations, checkpoints and what you'll need to know going into them, the trail and terrain. As I said before, this is super exciting, a little sneak peek. Support crew and why they are so important, the unsung heroes of Trailwalker. Compulsory gear, finish line expectations like awards ceremony and atmosphere. And finally, we'll be touching on sustainability. So as you can see, there's plenty to get through. Please remember to send your questions in the chat and we'll spend the final 15 minutes answering those. All right, let's get started on, if I can go to the next slide. The destination. All right. Just give me a minute. We're really pleased to announce that we will be spending, sorry, I'm having a bit of trouble here. Just a minute. Sorry about that, everybody. All right, we are super pleased to announce that we are hosting Oxfam Trailwalker in the beautiful Taranaki again. Taranaki has so much to offer, from museums, nature walks, surfing, culture and cuisine. It fits into anyone's ideal version of a weekend away. It's unique, it's legendary, and it's really impressive. The team and I were just down in New Plymouth last week testing out the trail, and I can honestly say it is one of the most breathtaking places in the entire world. On the weekend, if you're sticking around for a few extra days before or after the event, we suggest you check out the iSite in New Plymouth City Centre for advice and to take the opportunity to explore all that Taranaki has to offer. All right, now on to some of the nitty-gritty stuff. Event weekend itself is full on, but don't worry, all of this information will be available in our event guide that's going to come in the coming weeks. Registration will be held on the Friday at TSB Stadium, and the opening and closing times are yet to be confirmed as we finalise our planning. But last year we opened registration from noon till 8 p.m, just to give you an idea. You'll receive emails leading up to the event with this information as we confirm it, so please keep an eye on your junk and your spam boxes because they tend to have a habit of falling into there. Oxfam Trailwalker kicks off bright and early on Saturday, 11th of March. We will be implementing start waves based on your distance and predicted pace. These will begin from 6 a.m. Details on this will be confirmed later, but to give you an idea, for the 2021 event, we had start waves setting off at 6, 6:20, 6:40, and then 7, 7:20 for the 50-kilometre teams. The finish line will be open at noon on the Saturday to welcome the first teams over. And on Sunday, we'll be hosting the awards ceremony at the finish line at noon. This will be a wonderful opportunity to celebrate the incredible achievements that people have made. But for those still crossing the finish line, we hope that everyone who attends the awards ceremony will be there to cheer them across. You all deserve the loudest cheers possible. So going back to the Friday in more detail, registration on Friday, the 10th of March is where you will collect your walker packs and we can high five you for your upcoming challenge. This is going to be hosted at TSB Stadium in New Plymouth. Everyone is welcome to attend, but only one team member is required to attend on behalf of the team. Please ensure that your travel plans fit around this, even though times for this year are yet to be decided. Last year we had registration open from noon to 8 p.m. This should give you an idea on when to travel into Taranaki and give you enough time to register. In your walker pack, the exciting stuff, you will receive your walker directions. You must carry these with you on the trail. Your team bibs, so everybody knows who you are, your support crew driving directions and vehicle passes, and any fundraising rewards that you have achieved along the way. It's also a chance that if your team have any changes or any queries, you can ask us before kickoff on Saturday morning. There'll be a help desk there for all your needs. If you haven't sorted your accommodation yet, this is the perfect time to book at Novotel. Novotel is just 5 minutes from TSB Stadium, super convenient, and they have an on-site sauna for your post-trail walker muscles. Novotel are actually offering an exclusive 20% discount for trail walkers and trail walker family and support crew as well. So book online before the 31st of December and use the promo code Oxfam. Start line expectations. So fast forward through your carb loading dinner and your great night's sleep, fingers crossed. And what should you expect on Saturday morning? Well, expect to get to the start line nice and early. We know you're going to be chomping at the bit to get started, but in case you had hoped to get a sleep in, we recommend being bright and early to avoid any traffic issues or delays. As a city-based trail walker, we'll work with the local area to ensure the best possible parking or organise a drop-off point for your support crew to drop you off at. This will give you time to get checked in at the start line and visit the portaloos, which we highly recommend. Prepare your gear the night before. There is nothing worse than stumbling around in your accommodation at 4 a.m. trying to find your missing sock. So make sure everything is ready to go the night before. This could mean pinning your bib onto the front of your shirt so you don't have to worry about it on the Saturday morning. Your support crew should also know your plan for the checkpoints and what you need from them. Everyone will be pumped on adrenaline. The atmosphere will be absolutely buzzing, so soak it in. You'll be at the start for a short while before you're off. Take plenty of photos and share them to socials too. You'll really want to capture the amazing feeling of beginning your walking journey. But also, you might be nervous, and that's okay too. Expect that your bodies will all react differently and embrace that feeling. Once you've had your bibs scanned by the wonderful start line volunteers, you can make your way to the start line chute for your start wave. Keep an eye on the time, but don't worry, one of the lovely Oxfam staff will be on the mic to announce the waves, count you down, and send you off. Checkpoints, all right. Checkpoints are the perfect chance to catch up with your support crew, sit down, stretch, and get off your feet for a little while. And of course, eat some well-deserved food. These checkpoints are roughly between 15 and 20 kilometres apart from each other. And yes, I know you're all wondering, toilets will be available at each checkpoint, along with hot and cold water, coffee, tea, and hot chocolate, courtesy of our wonderful partner in Cafe. Plus, we will have plenty of R-Line, which is a hydration drink designed specifically to aid the performance of endurance athletes such as yourselves. as well as provide fast hydration. One thing to remember is that Oxfam Trailwalker has been a disposable cup-free event for many years. So make sure you and your support crew have your own reusable cups. All right, once again, I know what you're all wondering. Yes, there are portaloos and water refill stations. Many of our checkpoints are indoor venues, so you can take a much needed break from the elements and put your feet up. Make sure you check in and check out with the volunteers as you enter and exit. Every member in your team must do this. If you don't, it will register in our system that you haven't reached the checkpoint, and we might be calling you in the middle of the night worried that you stopped somewhere or got lost. And your checkpoints are the opportunity to see your support crew. It's lovely seeing your close supporters throughout the trail. Let them know what you need prior to event weekend, so when they turn up to greet you, they are prepared with exactly what you need. Each checkpoint site will be different, but for many, there will be a space for your support crew to set up gazebos. We'll give you the lowdown on each checkpoint once we've confirmed and launched the trail. Now, although you'll be tempted to take a long break, we actually suggest you don't hang around too long. You want to keep those muscles active and to avoid seizing up. We think 10 to 15 minutes approximately is perfect. Finish line expectations. All right, the finish line is going to be an amazing atmosphere. There really is nothing like it. There's going to be a lot of different emotions and feelings going around, much like the start line, so just embrace it. You're going to be sore. Ensure that when you cross that finish line, you stop somewhere and stretch. Make sure you drink plenty of fluids to help you recover. And take plenty of photos, especially with those hard-earned medals. Post your photos online, and you can always tag us at Oxfam Trailwalker NZ and include the hashtag OTWNZ23. The exciting stuff. There's going to be a glass of bubbles waiting for you at the end. Thanks to our long-term partner, Booster Wine Group, your medal and a sausage sizzle will be combined with a lovely glass of bubbles. It's really time to celebrate. And finally, the awards ceremony. As I said before, this will be on Sunday at noon. If you finish sooner, we ask that if you want to, you come back to experience the feeling of the awards ceremony and also cheer on those teams that are still crossing the finish line. All right, now on to the most anticipated part of the evening, the trail. The trail for our 2023 event is officially being released tomorrow morning, and we are so excited to share a bit of it with you tonight, some insider info. The terrain will be extremely varied, including dockland, private farmland, forestry and bush, beach and rocky shore, and hard-packed trails. The list goes on, so head on over to our website tomorrow morning and you'll find your trail map, elevation profiles, and information on the legs and checkpoints. Stay tuned as Matt, our trail developer, is going to speak more on this later in the session. Now, support crew, again, the unsung heroes. We spoke about support crew meeting at checkpoints, and your support crew are really your lifelines. They are so important to getting you across the finish line. Their main job is to meet you at checkpoints. They are there to support you and give you the things you need, such as food, extra hydration, walking poles, even spare shoes and socks can be really important. You must have your support crew signed up under your team on the website, just like your team members. The minimum is 2 and both must be over 18 years old. On our website, oxfamtrailwalker.org.nz/support crew, there is a lot of support crew information, including checklists and advice, how to navigate checkpoints. They will be given detailed driving and parking directions closer to the time. And lastly, your support crew can be included in your weekend team trainings. We actually recommend that you start them early in your training plan and ensure they know what you need during the walk. Do they need to know how to give you a foot massage, or have they learned that you crave, like we do at the Trailwalker team, chocolate pretzels on the trail? No matter how strange it is, it's their job to ensure you get through, so don't forget to give them love throughout the journey as well. All right, gear. We've covered some very detailed information in our first information session, which you can find on our website and on our YouTube channel. And as well as hearing from our official gear provider, Bivouac Outdoor, in that session, All team members have received a prep guide in their welcome pack, which includes the bivouac outdoor gear tips. Now, we have had a delay in sending out our most recent batch. However, we're back up and running and our latest batch is coming soon. So if you haven't received it yet, keep an eye on your mailboxes. If you've registered recently, you can expect to have them soon. And in the meantime, you can always view them on our website, as well as the full gear checklist courtesy of Bivouac. Here are some key points about gear that you need. And I know this from personal experience from last week. Carry a comfortable day pack. As support crew will transport the bulk of your food and gear, it's really important that you pack light and you're comfortable with your day pack. All teams, regardless of distance, should prepare to walk in the dark. A head torch is highly recommended and actually pretty compulsory. We don't want you falling over or hurting yourself because you can't see where you're going. All right, try all different shoes and socks. You want to go into the event weekend with no surprises, knowing that your shoes are comfortable and your socks are fit for purpose. So we do have some compulsory items. The first is, of course, your walker bib. This is so we can identify you. Walker directions in case you don't have signal or your phone dies. A first aid kit, survival blankets, 2 mobile phones, preferably with 2 different mobile networks, reflective clothing, a whistle, and of course, water. And finally, sustainability. Oxfam Trailwalker aims to walk the talk by demonstrating Oxfam Aotearoa's commitment to environmental sustainability. We aim to minimise the negative environmental effects of our event in every way possible. We are currently working with sustainability consultants in step to put on one of Aotearoa's most sustainable events. An important focus for Oxfam Trailwalker 2023 is the major reduction of single-use plastic bags and packaging and continuing to be a disposable cup-free event. We had some amazing results in 2021, so we're hoping that in 2023 we can top those. Dispose of all your rubbish and separate recycling and landfill, please. Pack your food in reusable containers. This would be a good thing to let your support crew know beforehand as well. Carpool where possible, and we encourage support crew to think outside the box when it comes to decorations or signs. Try to reuse and recycle as much as possible. All right, we have a little competition coming up. So we are on Strava. Strava is an app where you can track and share your exercise and join the community. You can actually connect your Strava to your fundraising profile to track your training kilometers. This will help you, help us share training walks with you. You can join our challenges and meet with like-minded people also on the Trailwalker journey. It's a great place to see what everyone is up to. So anyone who follows Oxfam Trailwalker on Strava and joins the Oxfam Trailwalker Club goes in the draw to win one of 4 Fitletic belts thanks to Outwear. So you need to join before the 21st of November, and we have an email going out. That's your trail release email that covers all of this as well. The Fitletic belts are really awesome products. They are a water-resistant running belt, which features a large pouch made from coated lycra that's waterproof. You can bring your phone, essentials anywhere, credit cards, and it also has reflective strips for safety. It really is the perfect gear for Trailwalker and your training walks. And just a quick note, to enter, you must be registered as a team member or a support crew. All right, well, I think you have well and truly heard enough of my voice tonight, so let's get into the good stuff. For anyone who has joined us since the start of the session, I want to introduce you to Matt. He is our trail developer who will share a little bit more about the trail to get you excited. So I will hand it over to Matt now, who will take it away.
Kia ora, thanks, Sam. Yeah, exciting. That's one of the words, definitely. It is exciting to release the trail tomorrow. It's been probably 3 years' work. And we did a lot of work way back in 2020 for the 2021 event, which went well. And then we did redesign the course for the 2021 last year, which obviously didn't quite happen. So this year, it's all go. So we've been out on the course just last week, actually, with the Auckland team, sort of showing them the course, doing the trail audit. And for me, I've lived in Taranaki all my life, so I know the area really well, but it's nice getting a perspective from other people coming into the course and seeing all the bits that I think I love and getting that feedback too. That really is a pretty spectacular trail. If I'm not being too biased, I'm allowed to be biased, so that's okay. So anyway, the trail, as you see in the start lines, it's at the TSB Stadium, and it's right next to our super iconic Pukekura Park, which is a beautiful park. If you haven't been there before, you're in for a real treat. So use a few trails through there for a few Ks. This is the 50 and the 100. They're all walking together for the first 35, 40K, they're all together. So through Puke Park, they're going to be heading into another walkway. I see a few little historic parts of the city. They'll walk through the actual city itself to our wind one, which you'll see all through New Plymouth. There's all sorts of sort of key features. One of them is Len Lai, our local amazing artist, kinetic energy artist. So you'll go right to the wind one, the big red thing that pokes up on the coastline. You're going to use the coastal walkway. Look, there's a beautiful shot there of Pukekura Park. So that's the Poets Bridge just back there a minute. And that, of course, is the wind one. You'll walk right past that and give that a high five. It won't be that windy, of course, so you'll walk right past that along the coast. And of course, Taranaki is well known for its beautiful beaches. So you're going to walk right along the coastal walkway for a long time to East End Beach. And then you'll be heading into a series of all sorts of trails. The other thing, we've got beautiful rivers and streams coming into the city from our maunga. So there's plenty of river trails, which not river crossings, they're just trails that go along the side. There's one there. And they're all well-formed trails. So they're nice gravel or concrete or well-formed hard-packed dirt. Pretty minimal elevation. So you're going to be walking through a beautiful one called the Te Henui Walkway. Then you'll pop your way out to the Waiwakaio River. There's another beautiful walkway trail out to a small lake called Lake Rotomanu, which is our little a city-side lake. And then you're going to head through the really, it's pretty iconic for us now, the Te Trailwalker Bridge, out until, which is out by Fitzroy Beach. There it is right there. Of course, you're going to see this beautiful mountain view too. So you're going to walk there, be a great photo opportunity there as you cross over this bridge over the Waiwakaio River. The mountain, of course, is going to be out. If you've never seen it before, you're in for a real treat next March, guaranteed to be out at some stage during the event. So from this spot there, you're about sort of 15, 16 Ks deep. You're heading out towards Bell Block. And then you're going to get to your first checkpoint. Now, like Sam mentioned earlier, checkpoint's your place where you're going to meet your support crew. So the first checkpoint's out at Bell Block. There'll be a great big field area. So there's heaps of parking. There's a huge amount of sort of flat sports fields to set up on. You can have a picnic lunch there, 10 to 15 minute break, refuel, rehydrate, and then you're back into another walkway through Bell Block. You'll work your way back towards the city. And then you're out to this, you're starting to get out into the outside of the Plymouth. That's as much as we can do in your Plymouth for now. Then we're going to head out to the countryside. So there's a beautiful old forest you'll walk through, old pine forest with some trails. Then you're going to cross into some farmland. And of course, Taranaki is pretty well known for its dairy industry. So you're going through a couple of beautiful farms, sort of working your way up toward the mountain at all times, into some more bush, some more trails, another farm, and then it's into checkpoint 2. So that takes about another 15, 16 Ks. Checkpoint 2, again, you'll meet your support crew, get your new supplies, get it all ready to go. And from checkpoint 2, you're going to head into Lake Mangamahui, which is another jewel in Taranaki's crown. And that's a shot from last week. Unfortunately, it was a bit misty, but wet all week. But again, it's a spectacular lake. Surrounded by beautiful bush walkways. So the 50K are going to split away from the 100. The 100 will go a bit further around and they'll capture this view. Again, the mountain will be out right behind you there. The 50s will head back toward New Plymouth, and the 100s will do sort of a bigger loop around Lake Mangamahui area. And once they're back toward town, again, a few more walkways, another checkpoint for the 100Ks. The 50s will work their way back to the Te Henui walkway and then cut through into the TSB Stadium, which will be their finish line. So that's the 50 done. And that should be all completed, we hope, in daylight. So if you're starting at 7 o'clock in the morning, you should be there by, we're hoping 6 or 7 o'clock at night, depending on your pace, of course. From there, the hundreds will do a few more beautiful walkways through town, out into the country. And there's a whole lot of sort of looping in and out of farms and bush tracks and just all the good bits we can find that we think would be interesting. Obviously, it's going to be nighttime there for the 100K. And they're working their way back. They're going to go past Yarrow Stadium, will be the 4th checkpoint, the home of the Taranaki Bulls rugby team. This stadium there's going through a full rebuild at the moment, so hopefully it's all good to go by then. It definitely will be. Again, if I won't give it all away, there's a few little treats and surprises along the way, but that the 100 will work their way back down through the last checkpoint there at Umata School out in the country. A beautiful little country school there, and then they're going to head down to our spectacular back beach. And the back beach area is beautiful surfing beach. Hopefully by then the sun will be coming on up. There was a whole lot of more bush trails and walkways back in through town, out to the port. Now, if you did the 2020 Trailwalker, you would have remembered the start and finish line was out at the Port Taranaki at Namotu Beach, and that's where you're going to hook into there. The final section follows that coastal walkway. Again, you'll have a beautiful sunrise to walk along with. Going a different direction from 2020, of course, and you'll get back down to the wind wand, and that'll be your time to turn right and head back in through the CBD and into Pukekura Park, past the iconic cricket field, and then back to the finish line. So that's the end of the 100. Again, I think the key thing with the trail is the diversity. There's new things happening every 10, 20, 30 minutes. There'll be a new section that'll be different to the last. You're going to be locked in for 20 Ks along sort of a long forestry road, nothing like that. It's all diverse. Everything's going to be changing. There'll be bush, there'll be farm, there'll be well-made tracks, all sorts of sights to see along the way. And of course, I've mentioned a lot that the mountain will be out in spectacular form, no doubt. So that's the biggest thing, I think, for us, the diversity and the interest. You're always going to be in for a cool little view here and there. And in actual fact, you're going to be walking in and around the city a lot. And a lot of locals don't even know what exists. You're not be walking along footpaths for too long. It's always ducking in and out of trails, popping in and in, popping out of places. So it'll be a well-marked trail. Don't worry about the lefts and the rights and the ways to go. It'll be well-marked. You just follow the arrows, follow the markers all the way. That's pretty much it for the trail. Again, I don't want to give too many things away, but it will be a fun trail with plenty for everyone to enjoy along the way. Back to you, Sam.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Matt. I know everyone is going to be really excited to get their hands on all of that tomorrow. I know the team had a fantastic time testing it out last week. You guys are really in for a treat. Okay, so now I would like to introduce you to Tina and Lewis. They are our previous Oxfam Trailwalker participants who are going to tell you all about their experience on event weekend. So Lewis and Tina, I will hand it over to you to take away.
Kia ora te whana.
Hi, Lewis.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Fantastic. Yeah, great to be here. Apologies for the setting. Still kind of heading back home. But yeah, the Trailwalker, I was hearing the Mark talk about the trail. Fascinating. It's 100% true. I mean, it's a beautiful setting. You do go through quite a bit of different scenarios. It keeps the dynamic going, and Oxfam Trailwalk is one of, if not the best events I've ever done. So it's truly a life-changing experience. There's quite a bit to consider. There's quite a bit of preparation that needs to happen in order for you guys to succeed, and I'm sure that will that's what's going to unfold. So yeah, I think there's I don't know if there was a specific set of questions or points. Happy to make some recommendations in the general sense as well.
Yeah, just tell us a bit about your experience on event weekend, the atmosphere, maybe some key tips and tricks to get you through the journey, because it's a long one.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of learnings as part of this process. I think just emphasizing what the team said, your support crew, they're definitely your best friends as part of this process. So definitely trust them. Align with them what you guys need in terms of nutrition, in terms of food and special care. Aim the best as you can to get early to Taranaki, so you have plenty of time to kind of rest the night before, set up of all your gear. Do definitely invest on a good head torch. You will miss that in the nighttime. If you don't, I certainly have gone through the hard way to find that out. So don't be shy of it. And I think it's there's a lot of preparation and communication as the weekend goes through. So train in different scenarios and different time zones as well. So we did some night training in leading up to Trailwalker. So literally waking up at 3 a.m. For training sessions. It certainly prepares you for what you're going to face. I reckon, like, be aware of any signals that your body is giving you. So, like, if you're feeling slightly uncomfortable in your shoe or something that you have to change, be aware to address that, because it's from a small problem to a big problem. It goes quite fast. The vibe of the city is amazing. Like the community around, like everybody was so supportive. Everybody was cheering. That's really cool. I mean, like, people were interested about the Trailwalker and our experience. So they really were catering for us to have the best experience ever. On the day, I think my recommendations, like, get your support crew to drop you guys off in the morning early on. So once again, you have time to do that, everything that's needed. Prepare your your day pack. So have enough in terms of enough water per participant, per team member, and enough food between checkpoints. So, I mean, you guys will know from your training what kind of pace you have. So be mindful of that. You know, how many hours will I be out between checkpoints and those sort of things. If you're leading into the nighttime, be sure to get some layers in your day packs, because it gets quite cold quite fast, especially as you're getting tired. So what else? And I think in terms of the nutrition part, just be really conscious about things you need to take, how many calories you need to undertake. You know, do you need any types of supplements like protein or electrolytes and those sort of things? I think those are definitely the key things that will keep you going, and certainly provide a well recovery process. The nighttime can be a bit hard, because especially you're walking for a few hours. So be mindful of the breaks that you need to take. I mean, take constant breaks, but shorter breaks, not do like a long break, then your body is definitely gonna cool down, and it's gonna be really hard to get back on track. So I think those are general things to recommend.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lewis, for joining us. I know that to hear from someone who's actually done the event and got through it and had an amazing time is really invaluable. So thank you so much for your time tonight. All right. And finally, I'll just let my slideshow carry on. Bit slow tonight. There we go. I'd like to introduce you to Marco from Outwear. So Marco is going to talk a bit about the buff and how to use it. Now, your buff you receive when you reach your fundraising target, which is the $2,000 target. If you haven't heard already, our useful gear partner Outwear are actually offering a special deal to Oxfam Trailwalker participants. So when you shop online with Outwear, you receive 20% of your purchase credited back to your fundraising page. It's one of the easiest ways to get ahead in your fundraising. So we really recommend that you take advantage of that. All right, Marco, I will hand over to you now to take it away.
All right, everyone. Yeah, as Sam mentioned, if you open up your starter pack and you find these, there'd be 4 of those in your pack. That means that you've reached that fundraising of 2,000 and up. So well done for that. And Oxfam Trailwalker team want to give something back to you that's really functional and practical. And that's what this product called Buff is. So it's a multifunctional headwear. It's a seamless tube, so there's no seams anywhere in the product. So there's no pressure points when you're wearing it for a long period of time. It's made of a technical microfiber, and it's made of recycled plastic bottles. So 2 plastic bottles make up this product, and it's still made and manufactured in Spain. So being a technical microfiber, I'll quickly tell you, if it's really cold, this will keep you warm. And if it's really hot, this will keep you cool. It also has a UPF of 50, so it'll also be really good sun protection. So I'll quickly do a demonstration. So if you do have your buff with you, if you want to take it out, and I'll go through that process quickly with you. So the first easiest way is just around the neck. So when it's really cold, you've got something around the neck. Also, when it's really hot, you can dip it into water and keep it cool on your neck. As it gets colder, you can lift it up as a face mask. If you're running out of money, you can rob a bank, as some of them joke around with. You can also make it as a full face balaclava. So you lift this piece up here, lift that over. So while you're out in the night and it's getting really cold, this will protect you around the head and the ears and all around your body and your face. And even if it's wet, it'll still keep you warm. As it gets hotter and the sun's coming out, you can wear it as a headband or sweatband. It's on your head. What's really great is you can turn it inside out, give it a twist. So just twist it and bring it back over itself. And you've got a skull cap or a beanie. So on those cold mornings, when you wake up and when you start walking in the morning and it's really cold, you can wear it as a beanie. And my favorite one is, especially with the sun being so hot, I turn it inside out, grab the piece on the front, hold that and flick that over the back. So I'm covering my ears from the sun. I've got this nice piece on my neck and I can still wear a cap or a beanie or a hat over that for the sun. And if you're not wearing it around the head and neck, you can grab it and just give it a twist and another twist and you've got it on your wrist. So you can have it as a sweatband. So really functional. I'll show you another neat one quickly is if you have two of them together. So two members and you grab the two ends and you need, someone's got an injury, you can make it into a, I'll show you there. So you can strap up someone's arm. So if you have an injury on the field, you can even wear it, use it for first aid. So really functional. And as Sam said, you can see on the screen, we also have another deal going at the moment for $40. So you get one of these lock sacks and that comes with two bags. So waterproof resealable bags. You can put your phone electronics in. That's some of your compulsory gear. While it's in the phone's in the bag, you can still swipe it. You can talk through it. So you can do everything in the bag and it's protected when you're out during the rain or in bad conditions. And then you would also get a 40-gram anti-chafe. So anti-chafing for any parts of your body where there's chafing. A lot of you will probably know as you're doing that long distance, there's chafing in different parts of your body. And with that $40, $15 goes back to your team page. And as Sam also mentioned, we've got a 20% discount on our website, and that 20% goes back to your team page. Thanks, Sam.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Marco. That's always so impressive seeing just how many ways you can use those buffs. I know every time I hear you talk about it, I learn something new. That sling is probably going to come in handy. Hopefully not, but
hopefully not.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Cool. All right. Sorry, just a bit of a slow computer today. All right, so thank you again also to Matt and Lewis and Tina. I can see you've now joined. Hello. We are going to jump into our Q&A section now, but I just wanted to say a really quick thank you to our sponsors. So thank you to MPDC and VET, which is New Plymouth District Council and Venture Taranaki. Thank you to Bivouac Outdoor, Outwear of course, and Buff, Wireless Nation, Novotel New Plymouth, In Cafe, and Booster Wine Group. Oxfam Trailwalker would be a very different experience without them. So head to oxfamtrailwalker.org.nz/event partners or /fundraising deals to check out their offers and how they can support both you and Oxfam Aotearoa. So I'm going to pass it over to Vanessa now, who is going to lead us in our Q&A section. So take it away.
Hello there, everyone. What a fantastic information-filled evening we've had so far, and it's just so wonderful to hear everything you've got to say. Marco, I did try a few of those buff moves over the weekend, or our team did over the weekend. Yeah. So So I think I'll jump straight into the questions. I've got a few that have come through on email. Just a reminder to everyone, pop your questions in the chat just over the next 10-15 minutes, and we can try and answer those while we've got our special guests here. So I might just jump in with Lewis and Tina. Thank you so much for coming, both of you guys. It's great to see you. Just wondering, what would be your top tips to keep really energized and motivated on the trail? You know, is it singing? Is it music? You know, what are your kind of top 5 tips that you could share with everyone?
Oh, thanks, Vanessa, for organizing the session with Sam. In regards to that, I think it's really important to bond with your team. So we had some fun games in the middle of the track. We really enjoyed asking, would you rather do this or that? So for example, if you had a superhero to be your partner, would you rather partner up with Batman or Iron Man, and why? I think this kind of like funny questions can be silly, but in the middle of the track just takes you out of that pressure, and you just feel connected with your friends again, and you laugh. So yeah, playing games during the track would be my top tip.
Yeah, and I think like have fun, really. You know, enjoy the day, the race. I mean, you guys have been training so much for this, so enjoy that moment, right? Like stop, take photos, do silly things, you know, like have fun, just make the most of it, and be conscious about like each of your team members as well. Like some people like to have a quiet time, some people like to have, you know, the earplugs in, listen to music, podcasts, those sort of things. So each person is going to be different. Just yeah, communicate well with your team members, and I'm sure you guys are going to be successful in it.
Yes, and another thing to add is just the community factor. Taranaki received us with like open arms. So we had really good chats with people along the way, and I highly recommend you to spend, 5 times, smile to strangers, say hello to everyone who's gonna walk to you. Just enjoy your time at Taranaki, because yeah, it's a really, really beautiful place, and the community is just embracing us.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thanks so much, guys. Just a quick question I can see that's come through here. I'll just read this out. Are there any toilets along the trail? Because that's something that we do get quite a lot. Yes, there are at the checkpoints. So it's every sort of 15 to 17K around there. There's a checkpoint, and they all do have bathrooms. So it is a good, comfortable amount to get you through the trail. So I've just had another question come through for Matt. Matt, what is the elevation in terms of the trail? Are there any big hardcore hills, or how hard is that?
Oh, good question. Yeah, there aren't massive hills. No, I don't think I'd define any of them as big hills. Probably the highest elevation you'll get to would be around just under the 200-meter mark from sea level. Bear in mind, you're at sea level for a lot. So to get 200 meters is it's a hill, but it's not all in one go. You'll gradually wind your way up. All of a sudden, you realize you're at the highest point, which is near Lake Mangalahui, and you'll go, oh, that wasn't too bad. Probably there's probably one slight hill that everyone will have to take on, which is the Burgess Park Hill, but it's not far from the finish for the 50, so it'll be fine. Definitely achievable. With the energy beans, with your jokes, with your Superman chat, you're going to be fine.
That sounds brilliant. Thank you. Someone's asking Yum Schreider, I'm probably saying that wrong, about hot drinks. Yes, there are hot drinks at all the checkpoints. So asking about that. So we've got hot drinks, tea, coffee, hot chocolate, and we've got lovely coffee from In Cafe, and we've got R-Line energy drinks as well. So yes, there is plenty of hydration. And of course, you can fill up your water bottles, as you may not want to carry too much water with you, so you can carry those and refill those at the checkpoints as well. So just another one, actually one for Marco. Someone was asking around the credits and how it works with their fundraising. Would you be able to talk us through how that works if they're buying something from the website?
Yes, sure. So when you buy, just on the check, as you check out, you put in Oxfam Trailwalker and your team name, and then 20% of what you've paid will go back to your fundraising page. When it comes to the starter pack that I mentioned before, then the $15 goes straight away. If you buy that for $40, that percentage goes straight away into your team's page as your for your fundraising. It might take a few days because we send it through to Oxfam, and it might take a few days for you guys to process it. So I think it happens every 2 or 3 weeks. So if you don't see it, maybe just drop us an email, or we can follow that up for you.
Oh, that sounds brilliant. I've also got a question talking about night walking. So Martin Salisbury asking about night walking. I might flick this across actually to Tina and Lewis. Do you have any tips on night walking?
Sure. I think the first tip is actually getting a really good head torch, because it can get really dark at night. And it really helps for you, to avoid any accidents. Also, my second tip would be trying to walk at night with your team, Friday night or maybe Saturday night. Make it fun. Go to your local neighborhood or like somewhere where you feel safe, and do a walk of like 2-3 hours at night. So you can get used to looking in the dark, and you can test your head torch. And if something is not working, you can go back home and just do it again next week.
Yeah, and layer up, as mentioned before. I mean, like, definitely be sure to carry some extra layers in your backpack. It can get quite cold, especially when it's out and about. By the time you guys gonna hit the night, you're probably going more like inland. So yeah, just be conscious of that. And I think, like, as a general tip as well, if you can organize like those organization packs, like boxes, organization boxes, and have all your gear and material in one per team member, that helps your support crew to carry stuff around.
It can be a bucket.
Yeah, it can be even a bucket or something like that.
Just write your name on it and make sure that it's labeled, so your support crew can actually get your gear if you need in the middle of the night, and you can just have this extra merino layer or an extra jacket.
Yeah, but the head torch is certainly the top one, so you can look more ahead and not so much downwards. Yeah, certainly invest on that.
Oh, that sounds brilliant. Thank you. And we do have, of course, our trail markers and our reflective markers as well. So when people are wearing the head torches, they'll pick that up, and any body tape or anything like that, I guess, as well, is always a brilliant thing to do. Another one that's popped through from Matt, from Natalie Robertson. How long is the beach part of the track, Matt?
Yeah, now the beach part, there will be a lot of walking alongside the beach, but not walking on the beach. So I think there's some feedback from a previous event in Whakatane about walking along the soft sand. There'll be none of that. There'll be probably literally 15, 20 meters of a beach you might get your foot on, but walking along the beach on formed trails and concrete path. So if I was to put a K value on it, there might be 6, 7, or 8 Ks of walking on the coastal walkway, but not on the actual beach.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And there's another question I can see popped up about river crossings. Yes, there will be two small stream crossings. One will have a little bridge built on it. Another one will have some. It'll be dry. It'll be some easy, like small boulders with a rope to hold onto. So nothing gnarly or extreme. Everyone who's done it in the past have said it's absolutely fine. So no danger with any river crossings. Thanks.
That's brilliant. Thank you. There's also a question here from one of the users. Can the support team drive across the route? Will the road be closed during the event? So support crew do have like a parking card, one per team, and they will be able to drive alongside as such, not like the whole way, but they'll be able to drive to an area and sort of park up near the checkpoint or circle around or quite get close to, and they will have little parking passes that they can display as well. And so that just means that when they come out and see you and bring you all the heavy things, you know, that you spare socks, maybe some food, anything that they're carrying to support you, that they can sort of walk out to you and walk back to their car. So you don't have to kind of schlep anywhere. They can come to those checkpoints. So yes, you can do that. Another one I've actually wanted to ask you about, Matt, that's come through a couple of times, is about cell phone coverage. So what is the cell phone coverage like overall on the trail?
Yeah, overall very good. I'd say 98% of the trail you'll have coverage. There could be a few little sections in a little sort of corner of bush that you won't be more than 5 minutes away from getting reception again. So we tested all with Spark Network last week, absolutely fine. Vodafone not quite as good all over, but generally pretty good. And you're never far away from a road or support from other people around. So no danger or drama there with your cell phone coverage.
That's brilliant. And I know that we always recommend, one of the mandatory recommendations is to bring 2 different networks. So you've got that safety factor. So your 2 degrees and your Spark, or your Vodafone, your 2 degrees, or whatever it might be, just so if one is weaker than the other, you're covered with the team. So that's awesome. Question for Marco. We wanted to know, what is the story with looking after the buffs? So how do we care for them?
Yeah, so basically just normal washing. I wouldn't put in a tumble dryer, but they dry so quickly. And yeah, they last for a really long time, really comfortable, quite soft. The new product has also got a 4-way stretch, so it stretches and really comfortable around the head and neck, but just general in the washing machine is fine. Thanks.
Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you. Matt, we were having a really good look at the trail and just loving hearing all about it. Do you personally have a favorite part of the trail?
Oh, it's like making me choose my favorite child. There are a lot of really cool parts. I love the beach. I'm a coast person myself. I've lived on the coast all my life, so I love any time I'm near the waves. So for me personally, it's probably walking along the ocean at my side. But I do love swinging around and seeing Maunga Taranaki out in full view too. So that'd be my 2 favorite parts. But I mean, all the bits in between, there'll be hopefully something in it for everyone there. There'll be enough to keep everyone pretty enthused along the way, I'd hope. And I look forward to hearing all the stories at the end about what they did find their favorite. I don't want to hear about the bits they didn't like, but the bits they did like, I'll happily chat to them at the finish line at length.
Oh, that sounds brilliant. So just a little reminder to everyone, we've got a few minutes to go. If you've got any questions, anything that's kind of come to mind while you've heard everybody talking, whether that's to Marco or to Taina and Lewis as past participants, or to Matt about the trail, please do jump on and pop those in the chat, and we'll get through to those over the next few minutes. But also just to remember that this isn't kind of your only chance to ask anything at all. You'll probably come away from tonight and have thoughts and questions as you do, and you can always get in contact with us either on the info email or on our 0800 number, and we'll pop those details again in the chat to you as well. And those details are on the contact us part of the website, and they're also in your invite for this evening in the contact section of that invite as well, so you've got that on hand. So just wanting to chat, so Taina and Lewis, you did mention walking in the rain at some point. Do you have a tidbit on walking in the rain? Any advice on that?
Yes, just carry in your backpack a new pair of socks. No one likes soaked socks, and it's really important to change them every 2 hours if you feel like you're soaking, so you avoid blisters. So that would be my top tip for the rain. Of course, a rain jacket, but yeah, clean socks.
Yeah, we use quite a bit of solid Vaseline that keeps the moisture out. So if you put that on your foot, it can support you, not having the blisters and those sort of things. So yeah, make sure that you have fresh clothing and those sort of things. yeah, especially after the rain stops. So yeah, in a rain jacket, naturally.
Yeah. Absolutely. I've got a note here from Katie asking on behalf of our legs give up, can we just roll on to the end? So, you know, so we have checkpoints along the way and you kind of check in and check out at all those checkpoints. So if you do need to, you can check in and check out at those checkpoints. If you do decide to leave, you definitely want to check out at that checkpoint though, because otherwise you might receive a phone call from us wondering where you are, worrying if you haven't made it to the end. So, but yes, that is of course something we can do. I've also got one here from Chris. This is one for Matt. I'm sure we'll find this out tomorrow, but do we know the total elevation across the 100K?
Yeah, we'll be out tomorrow. So the GPS guys have done all the measurements around the total elevation. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what it will be. But just like I said earlier, little bits up, little bits down, nothing too full on or huge. So tomorrow it should all be released on the trail release. Absolutely. Cool.
Oh no, that sounds brilliant. Thank you so much. So just having a little look in the chat and seeing if there's anything else. Does anyone have any last minute burning questions that they'd like to pop in the chat at all? Otherwise, I think it'll be handing back over to Sam pretty soon. But we've got through a lot tonight and there's been lots of questions as well, which is absolutely fantastic. And like I said, it's definitely not the last chance that you've got to ask us anything or to get in contact with us. And as Sam mentioned, we'll be sending out the trail release email tomorrow. So that will have everything in there for you guys, and we're really excited to tell you guys about that first here in the session, and to let you know that that'll be in your inbox tomorrow mid-morning. So I might just hand back over to you, Sam, if that's all right with you. We're kind of everything's come through the chat now, so I might just say thank you so much and hand back over.
Awesome. Thank you, Vanessa, and thank you to our wonderful guest speakers for all those amazing answers. So yeah, Lewis, Tina, Matt, and Marco, thank you so much for joining us and giving us your time tonight. It was super, super valuable. Thank you everyone for joining. We hope you learned a lot. This will be up on our YouTube and our website in the coming days, so you can always rewatch if you missed anything. And in the meantime, good luck with your training, good luck with your fundraising. We're here to help if you need us, so please reach out. And yeah, good luck. See you later.